Hi, Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. Here's your horoscope for 2025. This is going to be a general overview for the year of 2025. So if you have a rising sign in Sagittarius, or if your sun sign is in Sagittarius, this is going to be a very basic look at the year ahead. And I'm going to be using the Western astrology, using the sun sign, whole house system, the tropical system. So for those of you that follow astrology, you know what I'm talking about here. So this is a big year for all the signs. This is because there are going to be 4 planets that switch signs, including your ruler, Jupiter. Jupiter will be switching signs this year in June. And so many of you are going to be changing residence, things having to do with your home. Maybe you're investing in new property. Maybe you're making plans for, moving in some way. But that's going to be a really big theme this year because the North Node is also going to be in that 4th house. So maybe you're thinking about remodeling or wanting to travel more or do some retreats at home on the property or something along those lines. But emotions are going to run high this year for many of you. And wanting to go in a new direction. That seems to be the theme for many of you. Okay, so we're going to take a look at what the planets are doing and where they're falling in your chart. Again, very basic, and because your chart is completely different and everyone's birthday is completely different. So anyway, here we go. Let's start off with, looking at what the year looks like. So we start off the year with the Mars retrograde. Now, Mars is our motivation, our drive, our determination. And it went retrograde on December the 6th in Leo. And now it is going to be retrograding as we start off the new year back into Cancer. So on the 6th, it'll retrograde back into Cancer and your 8th house. What that means is you'll be revisiting issues pertaining to investments, for insurance, for things having to do with your death in terms of preparation or land, or because Cancer is also about family. So there's a lot of family dynamics that are taking place as you begin the new year. As you can see here, the Mars retrograde will be all the way through February 24th, and then it'll move direct again through Cancer. Now, it won't re-enter Leo until April. April is going to be really a much better time for everyone because of Mars being in a stronger position. Mars does not do well in Cancer. It's all about emotions in the past and feeling moody and just the motivation's completely different. It's thrown off. And so we start off the year this way, at least for the first 2 months, as you can see here, just from the Mars being retrograde. Okay, so don't take it personally like it's only happening to you. Everyone's feeling this energy, but because it's going to be in the 8th house, you're doing, you're going down a deep psychological transformation from the past. You may be reliving a lot of things in your mind. And maybe there's situations that resurface that you have to take care of. And that's what this Mars retrograde is going to do in your 8th house. Now, here are the 4 planets that are going to switch signs this year. And this is usually a big deal because when you have 4 planets, and if you count Pluto that entered Aquarius on November 19th of 2024, that means all 5 of the outer planets are going to be making significant changes in such a short period of time. So as you can see here, Jupiter, your ruler, on June the 9th will enter Cancer and that 8th house. So this could be, I'll get into that, but it could be you dealing with finances and shared resources. All of that stuff is going to be on the table, especially family dynamics. But it's a great time for real estate, land, or spending time with family. So this is going to be big. Saturn and Neptune both enter Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. And this usually is indicative of new beginnings, fresh starts. And this is going to be in your 5th house of creativity. So many of you are going to feel like, I need to do something new. I need to be more creative. I need to break out of this doldrums. And again, I highly encourage it. And so it'll start here on March the 30th and on May the 24th, when these two will be together for a short period of time. But the really big news also here is Uranus entering Gemini, your opposite sign, in July. Now, this is a complete wild card because Uranus has been in Taurus for the last 7 or 8 years, and it's been really low energy, and not wanting to move or afraid of change or whatever it is. But Uranus in Gemini is not like that. Uranus in Gemini is like, let's go, let's do it, let's be finicky, let's try new things, let's explore, let's talk about it, let's think about it. And so it's going to be in your 7th house of relationships. So this is huge because you're going to be drawing a lot of strange people, unusual people, or your conversations are going to be really deep and profound, like you're talking about quantum physics, multidimensional realities, or extraterrestrials, whatever it is. It's going to become very strange. And your personal relationships are going to be feeling a little bit more distant or needing some space. And that's what Uranus does in Gemini. So it's going to be really interesting as it goes through your 7th house. Now, here are the major transits. Please make note of these because events could occur a week or two on either side of these dates that I've given you here. And so here's that Mars retrograde in Cancer. That's going to be in your 8th house. Here's that North Node entering Pisces for the next 18 months. And that's going to be in your 4th house of home, feeling, and foundation. I'll cover that a little more in depth. February, the North Node conjuncts Neptune, which means that you could be feeling destined to be somewhere in, maybe you're looking about buying some land or another house or remodeling, and the desire is going to be really strong with family dynamics or remodeling in some way or buying new land or whatever it is. You feel destined to do it. Okay. Now, towards the end of the month, that Mars comes out of retrograde on the 24th, but March is monumental. March and September, these 2 months are going to be really important. As you can see here, March the 1st and 2nd, Venus goes retrograde in Aries. That is the 5th house. So this is going to have a lot to do with your children. It will have a lot to do with your romance, how you have fun, relationships from the past resurface. And we also have eclipses in between this 1st and the 30th. So on the 14th, we have a lunar eclipse in Virgo, which has to do with career and status. And, they may be changing, or you may be analyzing, your sense of purpose. And then on the 29th, we have a very strong solar eclipse in Aries. And the following day, we have Neptune entering Aries. So this is a very good, strong time from moving forward. Just be very careful because Venus is still retrograde. In other words, don't go out and buy huge, luxurious items, because Venus represents money. And we may see some of that stuff in society with the financial system and the currency and, everything that's changing in that department. So we may see something huge coming out of there this time frame. But April and May look a lot better. June looks good as Saturn conjuncts the North Node. Now Venus has come out of retrograde on the 12th. It's moving direct. Now notice here from May 18th on, Jupiter, your ruler, is basically making a lot of moves here. So May the 24th, Saturn enters Aries in that 5th house, helping you with more creativity. But on the 9th, Jupiter enters Cancer. And then about a week later or so, Jupiter square Saturn, Jupiter square Neptune. So there's an adjustment period that's taking place here for many of you. It has to do with your identity and self. It has to do with your creativity. It has to do with, family dynamics. This is all in the mix during this time. And there's that wild card, July 7th. Uranus enters Gemini in the 7th house. So there could be some strangeness that takes place between this June and July time frame with other people. In other words, they may surprise you what they say. They may surprise you with their behavior. They may surprise you with, just change, abrupt change for no apparent reason. So that's the kind of energy I'm seeing there. So be careful of, thinking that you know what's going to happen and then it changes completely. Now, we also have some beneficial alignments the second half of the year. Starting with July, I would say, but August, as you can see here, Saturn will be sextiling Uranus. And then on the 28th, Uranus will be sextiling Neptune. So we're looking at some nice favorable surprises that could be beneficial. Let's put it that way. This is coming from your 5th house to your 7th house. So again, a relationship could surprise you in some way, maybe in a good way. And then Uranus, which is in that 7th house, sextiles Neptune as well, which is in the 5th house. So I would say August is a great time to venture out, to have more fun, to be more playful, to do things that you might enjoy more with a partner and see where it takes you. Now, as we go into September, we have a very tricky month again, but Jupiter, your ruler, will be trining the North Node, so you feel destined to do something. Okay, this Jupiter will be in your 8th house. The North Node will be in your 4th house. Family dynamics are on the table once again. Okay, so maybe somebody's moving in with you. Maybe you're building a house. Maybe you're restructuring something, financially. This is really big because on the 7th, we also have another lunar eclipse. And I believe that's in Pisces. Again, that 4th house. 4th house and 10th house axis are being lit up this year for many of you. So it has to do with your sense of purpose, the public. It has to do with your home, feelings, foundation, and your children. But again, I see this is going to be beneficial because it's a trine. Now, as we go into November, towards the end of the year, we have another Uranus sextile Neptune, but this time it's in the previous signs. Uranus will backtrack into Taurus for the last time, and Neptune will backtrack into Pisces for the last time. So this is going to be your 5th house versus your 4th house. So 6 to 4. And so what this represents is maybe you need to slow down, relax, take care of your health, or take care of your someone else's health. There's a lot of emotion and feeling, a nostalgic feeling. And we wind down the year like we have the last couple of years in this sort of slower, nostalgic kind of mindset for many of you. Okay, so take note of these dates because they're going to be very important. Now, Pluto in Aquarius, that's huge because this is really setting the stage for so many of you to think on a different level. Okay, Pluto is about transformation, power on the unseen forces, profound changes. You guys already know that. And Aquarius symbolizes innovation, individuality, and progressive outlook. So you guys are becoming stronger visionaries. In the next 19, 20 years, you are going to become much more of the visionaries that you are. Because Aquarius and Sagittarius energy are the visionaries of the zodiac. So listen to that intuition. Pay attention to what you're seeing in your dreams, And so this Pluto is going to transform that part of your chart having to do with the mind. You're thinking. You're going to be like a sponge absorbing all kinds of information, especially with technology, extraterrestrials, what's going on in politics. This is all going to be ramped up big time for many of you. Okay. And the other thing it could represent is your desire to write a book or express yourself in some way that you normally wouldn't do. And that's what this Pluto is going to do for many of you. Now, let me talk a little bit about this North Node because it's going to be very important in that 4th house of yours. And here's the date, January 11th through July 26, 2026. During this period, the focus will be on embracing the themes of compassion, spirituality, creativity, and intuition while letting go of the overanalyst perfectionism, which is the South Node in Virgo. And so this is about emotional healing. This is about a transformation, either having to do with your siblings, either having to do with family dynamics. Maybe there's someone in the family you just don't get along with, and you will have to resolve those matters. And that's what I'm seeing here. And this is an 18-month period where you get the opportunity to do that. So I took the liberty of putting this slide together as a little reminder of what the South Node means. We need to release judgment towards self and others, a false sense of control, nitpicking, and micromanaging, while at the same time with the North Node pointing us in a new direction, I must embrace empathy, compassion, spirituality, faith in something greater than myself. Okay, so many people are going to turn to religion. Many people are going to become more spiritual in nature. And there will definitely be a lot of closeness to family or family dynamics this year coming up. The Venus retrograde, as I said, from March the 1st and 2nd all the way through April the 12th is going to be in Aries. Starts off in Aries in that 5th house. It has something to do with your children. It has something to do with your love life, your creativity. So maybe you are going back to something you used to enjoy doing, or maybe there's someone in your life that you need to reconnect with. This is going to be the time to do it. Not a great time to make large investments. Not a great time to get back into old relationships. It just doesn't work. Because once Venus comes out of retrograde, it'll be like, all right, whatever, see ya, bye. And so the energy is just a reflective period so you could understand the dynamics that you experienced. Okay, that's how it works. Now, here are the eclipses that are very important. Here's the one on the 14th in Virgo, which has to do with the career sector of your chart. So many of you may be retiring, maybe want to change careers. It's on Virgo, so could be some stuff related to health matters. This one is very strong here on March the 29th in Aries, in that 5th house of creativity, love, children, and, you know, basically reinventing yourself, because that's what's going to happen. At the end of March into April, you are totally reinventing yourself. You're supercharged. I need to take care of this, this, and this. I'm going to reinvent myself. I'm going to be different. You know, so there's that energy coming in. And then again, they repeat 6 months later, the lunar eclipse, this time in Pisces, which is that 4th house. This is why I said many of you, I think, may be moving or desire to move is going to be very strong. And so you're thinking about moving, or somebody moving in, moving out, real estate, land development, whatever. That's going to be highlighted there. And then we have another very strong eclipse, solar eclipse, which opens up an opportunity for the next 6 months to a year on September 21st in Virgo, in that career sector. So many of you may start a new career. Maybe you're doing something with animals. Maybe you're doing something with healthcare, you know, like taking care of others or teaching people about health. And again, it depends on your own personal chart that you need to pay attention to. Okay, so once again, here are the transits that you want to take note of, the dates. Okay, see where these fall in your chart. And again, very general, very basic. And here are the 2 planets that are going to switch signs into your 5th house, which is going to boost you tremendously. You know, March the 30th, and especially that one with the solar eclipse the day before, and May the 24th. Jupiter, your ruler, enters Cancer on June the 9th. It's pretty big. All the way to 2026. Take advantage of opportunities having to do with land, family dynamics, feelings, nostalgia, whatever, you know, comes up your way in those departments are going to be very important. Here is the Uranus entering Gemini in that 7th house all the way through November the 7th this year. And so this is an opportunity to kind of either break free from the doldrums and embrace more creativity, more outside the box thinking, and invite different people into your life, you know, and experience something new, express yourself. And here are some positive alignments that you need to focus on. You know, these dates here, because these look really good, and they have a lot to do with your creativity. They have a lot to do with partnerships. And September is another one of those wild card months, just like March. Those 2 months are big, significant wild card months that you need to pay attention to. Okay, so here are the eclipses once again. Just take note of them, and of course I will, you know, kind of keep you up to date throughout the year. So anyway, friends, I also have an extended version of this horoscope in my Inner Circle community. So consider joining. The link is down below. And I go into some of the charts. I give you a little bit different perspective. And, you know, I also do weekly astrology there. I teach astrology there. And you can ask me any questions you want on Sunday Zoom calls, okay, including going over your chart. So consider joining. It's a free 7-day trial, so you got nothing to lose. And check it out, and I hope to see you there. All right, so have a great year, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.